You are welcome to our training, lesson 7 of our training on procurement management for works. The title of this lesson is General Conditions of Contract for Small Works. Here is the learning objectives for this lesson. At the end of this session, you will be able to understand the provisions of the GCC of World Bank contract for small works. Again, my name is Anderson Dumle Nagbin. Anderson Dumle Nagbin is a member of the Chartered Institute of Purchasing and Supply Management of Nigeria. Okay, let's go. What is general conditions of contract? MDBs adopt tested models of general conditions of contract promoted by professional bodies worldwide, namely the GCC incorporated into the MDB standard bidding documents for small works under 10 million US dollars, and the FIDIC Condition of Contract second edition of 2017 is incorporated in the World Bank standard bidding document for large works with some modifications. This section outlines the key features of the GCC of the small works contract. The FIDIC conditions are presented in the next session. The use of tested models of GCC serves to promote international competition through the use of fair and balanced conditions of contract. The GCCs reflect the key provisions of the contractual policy and procedures of the issuing body and must not, therefore, be edited or modified. Any desired specific addition or adaptation to the GCCs can only be done for selected GCC clauses through the particular or special conditions of contract which are intended to customize the GCC with the procuring entity's specific requirements in the context of the contract in question. Let's look at the contract documents. The works contract in World Bank funded procurement operations is composed of the following document in the order of precedence indicated in the contract agreement as presented below. Number 1 is the contract agreement. Number 2 is the letter of acceptance. Number 3 is the letter of bid of the winning bidder. Number 4 is the addenda numbers, if any. Number 5 is the particular conditions of contract. And number 6 is the general conditions of contract GCC supplemented by Appendix A to GCC on MDB's fraud and corruption policies, and Appendix B on metrics of progress reports on environmental, social, and health and safety, followed by specifications. You will also add drawings and schedules. That is the bill of quantities or schedule of activities if it is a lump sum contract, and any other document mentioned in the PCC as forming part of the contract, including but not limited to the contractor's environmental and social management strategies and implementation plans, and the code of conduct for contractors' personnel, environmental, and social requirements, and sexual exploitation and abuse, and sexual harassment. All these are drafted into a code by the contractor for its personnel. Let's look at sections of the general conditions of contract. The GCC used in MDB's small works contract were developed by the MDBs in a concise manner for rather simple works construction designed by the employer. These GCC were inspired by the new engineering contract of the United Kingdom and make easy reading since they are written in simple English language. The GCCs are also well organized into 5 sections as follows for ease of reference by the users. The first section is general. Here is about definition and other provisions, followed by section B, which is for time control. Section C is about quality control. Section D is about cost control, and Section E is finishing the contract. The general provisions continues. The GCC are applicable to both lump sum and unit rate or add measurement contract, which is well suited for small construction contracts. FIDIC GCC are intended for unit rate contracts only. The structure above mirrors closely the key parameters of the contract, that is, time, cost, quality, and scope, which greatly facilitates quick reference to a specific contract clause. The first section of the GCC contains the general provisions like definitions of key terms as well as the definition of some of the rights and obligations of the contracting parties. The project manager here is defined as the competent person appointed by the employer who is responsible for supervising the execution of the works and administering the contracts. The GCC uses the term project manager instead of the engineer as it is used in FIDIC general conditions of contract. Activity schedules. This is defined as a schedule of the activities comprising the construction, installation, testing, and commissioning of the works in a lump sum contract. It includes lump sum price for each activity, which is used for valuations and for assessing the effect of variation and compensation events. Adjudicator. Adjudicator is defined as the person appointed jointly by the employer and the contractor to resolve disputes in the first instance. Compensation events. Compensation events are named events in the GCC which entitle the contractor to compensation either in monetary terms or time, or in both monetary and time. The general provisions include employer or MDB requirement with respect to the contractor's obligations regarding the environmental and social requirements, that is labor standards and code of conduct for contractors, personnel, including prohibition of sexual exploitation and abuse and sexual harassment. Number 2 is employer's right to inspect and audit the contractor's accounts. Number 3 is the employer's or national anti-corruption requirements. Number 4 is the appointment of the adjudicator and settlement of disputes. The adjudicator is appointed jointly by the employer and the contractor, and both parties share equally his stroke her fees, regardless of the recommendation given by the adjudicator. Only the contractor can refer issues to the adjudicator in accordance with the following procedures. If the contractor believes that a decision taken by the project manager was either outside the authority given to the project manager by the contract, or that the decision was wrongly taken, the decision shall be referred to the adjudicator within 14 days of the notification of the project manager's decision. The adjudicator shall give a decision in writing within 28 days of receipt of a notification of dispute. Either party may refer a decision of the adjudicator to an arbitrator within 28 days of the adjudicator's written decision. If neither party refers the dispute to arbitration within the above 28 days, the adjudicator's decision shall be final and binding on both parties. This brings us to the end of this lesson. We will meet in the next lesson.